This is the Akko 3068B. If at any point during the video you want to check out this exact same keyboard, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. I do got you guys, but let's jump into the review. All right, so first of all, this keyboard is freaking amazing. It is basically a perfect budget 65% keyboard. Let's go over first the build quality. Now, build quality is solid. It has a top metal plate that is actually a white backplate, and that is to bounce some RGB back up, make it a little bit brighter. Now, besides that, it has a strong plastic base, pretty similar to something like a Royal Clutch keyboard, although this is just a little bit better, just a little bit stronger and more polished. Now, besides that, it has nice rubber on the bottom, and it does have 2-stage risers, so you get those kind of enthusiast grade risers right there. More enthusiast style keyboards do usually have dual stage risers. Now, the only thing with this is it's a little bit hollow. Now, it's not super hollow. I'm being very nitpicky, but we are gonna get into fixing that hollowness later on in the video, but let's keep on with the review. All right, the keycaps. This is actually a really big part of it. As you can see, these keycaps are really nice. These are ASA profile, and these are actually Akko keycaps. So if you go and look at this keyboard and throughout the review, you'll see this is a really good value. You're getting a lot for your money, keycaps included, and part of that is because Akko uses their own stuff. So these are actually Akko ASA profile keycaps, which they sell regularly on Amazon. You can get these exact keycaps and actually use them on a different modded build just a while ago on the RK84, but these are nice keycaps. These are about 60 bucks. Now, if you take the actual price of the keyboard, which is 90 bucks, and you subtract 60, that means if you wanted to put these same keycaps on just any other keyboard, that keyboard would have to be $30 to then even compare to this one in price. And so we're starting to see the insane value coming here. Now, beyond that, you can see there are these kind of pink accent colors right here. These come in the box, and there's a lot of other keys you can put on there and choose to put on there. But if you don't want to put these accent muted pink on there, it's just going to be a black and gray keyboard with kind of that pink color for the text. That is very cool, because if you don't like the pink as much, I think it's awesome because it's not really pink. It's kind of like a very muted tone. I think it looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, I have the pink on the escape key, the space bar, those arrow keys, and the backspace. And obviously these are double shot PBT keycaps. Now, not stopping with the insane value, we're gonna move on to connectivity, which number one, you can see right here, we got a USB-C over on the left side. That's great if you wanna put a custom keyboard cable on there. However, not stopping there, this thing has Bluetooth. As you can see, you can turn it on right there, and the keyboard is on. Very cool. But not just that, you can actually use this with a 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle, which means if you want to game wirelessly at a 1000 hertz polling rate while being wireless, you can do that. So you have USB-C, Bluetooth, and a 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle. That is awesome. Now the battery, I think, is 1800 milliamps. It is pretty good. It's not the best in the world. However, the value is quite good. Now, me personally, I'm probably gonna be using it in wired most of the time just because I like to have a cable on there. But yeah, you have all those options. However, that is not where the value stops. Let's take a little keycap puller right here and pull off a key, and you can see right there, this thing comes with Akko jelly switches. I have mine in jelly pinks, but it comes in either jelly pinks, blues, or jelly whites. Now, do keep in mind, the jelly blues are not a clicky switch like a typical blue switch. These are a tactile switch. So if you do want to go with tactile, go with the blue ones. It's not going to be a clicky switch, which is great. But yeah, in stock form with this switch on there, this thing feels really good. They are incredibly smooth, like actually smoother than I was expecting. These kind of feel. They actually remind me of like a Gateron yellow optical switch or a Gateron red optical switch, which if you don't know, the optical switches, even though they're not fully hot swappable on any boards, the Gateron optical switches are very smooth. But again, these are typical, I think, 3-pin switches. So having it be that smooth is very impressive. And again, this is a much better switch you're probably gonna find on any other keyboard at this price point, and that's because Akko is using their own stuff. You're using your own keycaps, which are actually good keycaps. These aren't just keycaps you're gonna throw on because they're a stock keyboard. These are nice keycaps that I would actually put on my keyboards. And the switches, again, are not some like Autemu or like Gateron Reds are fine, but they're not as good as something like this. But let's get a sound test. These are pretty poppy, which I do like. We're gonna get a sound test of just the switches, and then we're gonna move on to the stabilizers, and then we're gonna do a sound test of that as well. So here are the switches. Impressive. All right, moving on to the stabilizers. You might be like, okay, it did all of that. The stabilizers can't be good at this point. They are, okay? They're not perfect, no, but they are very, very good for 90 bucks. All right, so let's listen. Okay, so yes, obviously the stabilizers are lubed. They're tuned quite well. There's no rattle. You could definitely use a little bit of work. I'm thinking probably a Band-Aid mod, maybe a Holy mod. However, you wouldn't need to do a whole lot to them to make them sound good. Maybe clip them. However, they sound really, really good in stock form. Like, there's no rattle. And honestly, if I was gonna mod this thing, I would probably just do a Band-Aid mod and then call it a day because they're good how they are and they feel really good. Now, we actually might Band-Aid mod them at the end of the video, so wait till then if you wanna see how I would upgrade this in like 20 minutes, maybe. Okay, but moving on to even more value, this thing is fully hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. Yes, you get Akko jelly switches, you get the keycaps, you get really good build quality, and you get Bluetooth and a 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle with being fully wireless, and then you get it to be fully hot swappable, which means you can put any switch that you want in this. It is hot swappable with 3 and 5 pin switches. So basically any switch that you wanna go into this, you can put into it and upgrade it in the future. Although I think you'll be very happy for quite a while with those jelly switches. I'm pretty impressed with them. So overall, for 90 bucks, do I recommend this keyboard? Well, if you want a 65% keyboard, you want a more enthusiast grade keyboard, and you want something that is very moddable, easily moddable, and is already like a finished keyboard that sounds really nice. Like Royal Kludge makes amazing keyboards that you can mod and sound really good. However, this keyboard can be modded and sounds really good stock form. That's what you don't get with something like Royal Kludge to this degree. So yes, absolutely, I do recommend this. Again, if you want to check it out, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links, but don't go yet. We're actually gonna mod this today, right now. Now, there were 2 things that I said this could be upgraded with. I said it was a little bit hollow, and I said there could be a Band-Aid mod for the stabilizers, and that's what we're gonna do right now. So if you wanna learn how to upgrade this and hear what it sounds like before and after, stay for the modding. All right, so right away to do this, we're just gonna take those keycaps off. Now, I am gonna put these in order because it'll just be easier when I put these back on. So yeah, go ahead and take all the keycaps off. Now that we got all of those keycaps off, we got 1, 2, and then 3 screws to unscrew right here. Take any screwdriver you have and just go ahead and unscrew those. You're then just gonna pull this kind of skirt up. Now that you got the skirt off, go ahead and take that PCB out. All right, now it is connected to the battery in there, but a really cool thing to see actually that I kind of did expect is there is foam in between the plate and the PCB. That is a very cool thing to see, and we've seen that on other companies like Techwear, but yeah, this is really good quality. You can see that piece of foam in between there, very cool. All right, so now because we're doing this and we wanna do it easy, I'm gonna see if we can keep the battery on and just flip it over like that. I'm just grabbing this board to not cut my desk, and then what we're gonna do is take some scissors, and this is just a black sheet of EVA foam. This is 1/16 inch. It's like a buck at like Michael's or somewhere. You could basically use any foam, but we're just gonna cut it to the size of the case in here. Now you don't need to be super precise with this. We can cut it down if it's not correct. So I'm just gonna make a little cut right there and just kind of estimate the size of this. All right, now with all that cut out, let's see if we did that correctly. It could use a little bit of trimming. All right, and testing that one out. That one looked pretty much perfect. All right, so at this point we have a couple of standoffs. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we're gonna do is just take an X-Acto knife. You could use your scissors for this, whatever works. We're gonna put it in the board and then we're gonna try to cut those out. Now you do wanna be careful, especially around these wires right here. And now we have that one cut out. All right, now that all of those are cut out, we're gonna take this out and just, I was gonna say cut a hole for the battery, but that actually comes up over this way, so I don't think we're gonna have to do that. Now we're just gonna push this down basically as far as we possibly can and just basically hope and see if it fits, although we might have to do some finagling. On second thought, we are definitely gonna have to cut out right here for the USB. I just cut that out actually on the board. Let's see if this fits now. Flipping this over and pressing the board back in. That's it, we got some foam in there. Very easy. Take our screws and we're gonna put this thing back together. So put only those 3 screws. This only uses 3 screws, which is pretty cool because this skirt actually presses down the PCB as well. So that is cool. So now putting in those 3 screws, and just like that, we got some foam on the inside, making it a lot better. All right, now besides that, the other mod that we're gonna do is the Band-Aid mod. This is, again, very simple. All right, now all you're gonna need for this is some medical tape. If you don't have that, you can use Band-Aids. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is take off the switches right here, basically all of the stabilizer switches. So just pull those out nice and easy. Don't be worried, this is very simple. So pull those out of the top. Once all those switches are out, these are plate mounted stabilizers, so they have some pins on the top and bottom. You'll see those little pins right there. All you're gonna do is press those, and then the stabilizer will kind of come up. You do that on both sides, and then it'll come out. And then all we're gonna do is be careful, because these are lubed. These might be a little bit hard to take out because of that foam, but I'm gonna try to finagle them out. So you do have to kind of press down the foam to get these out. We might have to press down the foam again to get them back in, but that's okay. And there we go. We got the space bar out. These may be easier, and they are. Those just pop right out. All right, now that we got all the stabilizers popped out, all that we're gonna do is basically cut a piece of Band-Aid or medical tape and then place it right there. So take your medical tape, if that's what you're using, or a Band-Aid, whatever. So cut either your Band-Aid or your medical tape to be about this size. Then basically what you're gonna do is slip it into the PCB and just kind of set it down on there. Sometimes I use my scissors to kind of poke it down, get it off of the tweezer, and then kind of set it down in there. And do that for basically all of them, including this other side right here. And when you're done, it should look something like that with all of them done. Now, an extra step is you can take some dielectric grease, get a little brush, and then dab a little dielectric grease on all of those little pads. Now, this isn't 100% necessary, but I think it helps a lot with the sound. After that's all done, just take your stabilizers and just put them right back in. Just clip all those just back in there. Once all the stabs are back in, take your switches and just pluck those right back in. Now you can put your skirt back on. Make sure the USB-C is towards the right direction. Once the skirt's back on, just put all those keycaps back on. And just like that, in about like 15 minutes, you got the thing modded with basically no money, maybe $1 or $2. All right, but now that that's all done, here's a before and after sound test. Again, guys, you gotta check out this exact same keyboard. There's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. But yeah, overall, I think this is a really great keyboard and a fantastic package if you guys want a 65% board. But yeah, this is a consumer tech review. If you guys enjoyed this video and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you enjoy other videos like this, I do a ton of them. And I also do some modding videos, so definitely check those out. If you want full modding guides on a bunch of keyboards, that's what I do. But this is a consumer tech review, and I'll see you guys in the next video.